I want to tell you a little bit why I chose Daisy in the first place. I chose Daisy because I saw it as a solution. Mr. Roma always talks about the bigger the problem, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the solution. The bigger the solution is required. And that's true. See, I have a saying that when there's a problem and you see the solution, you know the solution, you have the solution. Problem plus solution equals opportunity. The bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. The bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. That means the bigger the opportunity. I see Daisy as a vehicle that's going to allow us, to help more people than we've ever been able to help before. See, in my previous company, in the financial services, we done incredibly well. And again, that's not my glory to take. I tell you the story because the credit goes to my team, the people who work really hard collectively, that we did incredibly well. And after that, after certain challenges where they changed the compensation plan, they moved people above others, and that pushed us away from the company. And then we went into a traditional network marketing company saying, now it's about just helping people. We don't want anything to do with the financial services network marketing, because that's where all these, structure change and so on happens the most. That's where they change the compensation plan often. But when we saw Daisy was a smart contract, where they can't change the compensation plan, they can always push an update and make it better. They can't change the structure. They can never change the structure. I was impressed. Yet, I was still very skeptical because I expected them to tell me, like many companies we said no to has told us, was, hey, we're going to pay you a fixed percentage per day, 1%, 2%, 0.5% per day, or 1 to 2% per day. And I am allergic to those companies because they do not last more than 12 to 24 months. I'm not here to talk bad about any company, so I won't mention any company name. That's just my philosophy. But when I saw who is behind Daisy in the name of Endotech, their track history, how long they've been going for, how long they've been registered for, the CEO, the founder, Dr. Anna Becker, and her experience, I was impressed. But I want to remind you at that point, they never said how much people are going to make daily. They never said how much people are going to make weekly or even monthly. They told us what their average percentage profits have been per year over the years. So if someone said to you, hey, our average profit is between 400 to 800% per year, why are they not telling you per month? Because the way their strategy works, it's long-term, spread over a year. And those two reasons were the main reason I decided to get started with Daisy. But the icing on the cake was one powerful point that many people ignore, don't realize. You see, we're in the habit of looking to make money quick. There's a difference between making money quick and making money fast. I associate making money quick with get rich quick scheme, and those don't work. Fast, achieving fast results is based on the amount of work that you put in. And as a result, right, it's up to you how fast you want to achieve those results. Someone seems to be in a rush to have Mr. Jeremy Roma here. Just so you know, when Mr. Jeremy Roma gets here, which should be in the next few minutes, he gets here. So hell, if you feel this is not valuable for you, feel free to leave the call. Like I said, this is not for everyone. It's for me. It's for the people who's listening. But this is not for everyone. So if you feel it's not for you, all you have to do, there's a tiny little red button at the bottom right of your screen. Just click on that. Okay, thank you very much. Now, it's important to share this because the other 455 people on this call, as well as everyone else on all the different lines we have, I'm seeing many calls with over hundreds of people there in different calls. It's important for them because Daisy could be their future. If you haven't made Daisy important enough for you, I can understand that comment. So for me, that was very powerful to understand that, okay, co-host, have a look at the chat and you need to add someone on here, please. And you need to understand that one important aspect for the long term that people overlook is the stock equity. It's the stock equity, which is going to be one powerful aspect. And those were the reason that we are here in Daisy. But then we had the happy, shocking news of what's to come, and it's just blown all our minds away because we are going in the right direction, and the vision of the company or of the project was always as such that Daisy AI through Endotech was going to become our first technological partner. Now, I'm going to take a seat back because we need to introduce you to our guest speaker today, Mr. Roma, who is now here. And I want to share a few words before we introduce him. I met this gentleman a few years ago through a common friend who introduced us, and I've been following his journey since. And I even went back to look at his journey before. It's great to see the results he's achieved, but he's achieved those in such a short space of time. And every time I've followed him, I've understood that this gentleman, this person is a visionary, is a pioneer, is here to do things that's never been done before. And he understands that it comes with challenges. And it's important for us to understand that because you see, when someone like Mr. Roma is steering a ship so large that it's built on all our dreams, if he sees an iceberg, he will consider changing direction. But he can't slow down and stop for every little can that's in the sea because someone said, oh, I'm pressing the button, it's not working. He can't stop the ship at every time someone says, hey, my app is not connecting because it's their software error. It's very important for us to understand that patience is going to be important. We're pioneers here, and we're being led by one of the biggest visionary minds that I've known, and someone who's really focused, really transparent, and leading the way for us. So I introduce you to Mr. Jeremy Roma, the co-creator of Daisy Project, for him to have a quick introduction before we jump into the Q&A. So Mr. Roma, if you can hear me, please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here. We really, really, really appreciate you.
And my privilege, man. I wouldn't miss this for the world, Avi. And thank you for inviting me to this call. And I tell you what, you guys, the team that you guys have put together just in this short amount of time, the #1 producing organization in all of Daisy globally, worldwide. And that's just a massive accomplishment. I mean, just absolutely incredible what you guys have done already in such a short amount of time. And my excitement to be on this call with you guys today is because your team is in position. You guys are in a massive position to take advantage of what is coming next. And I've been on for the last few minutes just listening to what you've been sharing with the community. I love everything that you're saying. I mean, just so on point. I can tell you, where we are going with Daisy, it's real. It's interesting, Avi, because right now, several of the companies that are out there that are digital or financial companies have sent notifications out to their field that they cannot pay, that they are not paying commissions, they're not paying profits out. And the reason is very simple, because they did not present their business model with transparency to the community. And when the markets went down, as they have recently, those companies who were doing funny things behind closed doors that nobody could see got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They got caught in a situation where they lost people's money. And now they're in a situation where they cannot pay. And I think this really is a good comparison to the power of the transparency of the Daisy model, where everything is real. Everything is real, where people are withdrawing their trading profits every single day, right? Every single day, where the balance and the current status is always 100% transparent to the community. And there's nothing ever being done in secret. Everything is done with full transparency. And it just shows that the foundation of Daisy, I believe it's the safest and most long-term project that anybody could ever be a part of. I want to also say that as it relates to Endotech and Daisy AI, get ready. We experienced last year in March, April, May, when the markets tanked. If you remember, at the beginning phases of COVID, the global markets, right? Stock market, crypto market, everything just collapsed. And after that collapse, we saw the magic of Endotech's AI. I mean, it was just absolutely brilliant to witness and to be a part of. We are coming into that next moment right now that, we know that Bitcoin has gone from 60,000 to as low as 30,000. We know that right now we're in this indecisive market, and the drops were there. When the market decides what it's doing next, whether it's going to tank or whether it's going to skyrocket, either way, the AI and Endotech's platform is ready to make its next move. And so there has never been a better time for a person to join Daisy. And there has never been a better time for a person to upgrade their tiers than right now, because the next move in trading, and there's always going to be some false breakouts, right? So you'll see some, Endotech getting ready to make a move, and then it's a false breakout, right? The market's not there yet. And so it's testing those breakouts. But when that next move triggers, we will be in front of that move, and it's going to be a massive move, and you don't want to miss it. You want to have your contributions in prior to that move. And so very exciting things are coming. A couple of important updates for the community. One is that we are opening up a customer service department. We have a team that's being trained right now, so they understand everything about Daisy, and they can answer questions. I just saw a message. Someone said they can't hear anymore, but I don't think that's the case. I think everybody can hear okay. So we'll have a customer support system in place in the next couple of weeks. And we know that will help manage different things. But guys, the bottom line is Daisy is rock solid, and we are positioned to go from where we are now to $1 billion in 2021. And we are getting ready to cross the line of another wave of momentum. And so I know, Avi, that a lot of people are really excited about the announcement that was made this week about the Daisy DeFi Launchpad. I know there's a lot of questions. I'm excited to answer those questions about the Daisy token, the tokenomics, how will the Launchpad work, and we'll answer all of the questions here today. Let me just, start out by saying that this is going to be a massive opportunity for the community. And it's only going to be, and trust me when I say this, my prediction is it will be a 3-day window. My prediction is when we launch the pre-sale, round 1, round 2, round 3, and round 4 are most likely going to sell out within a matter of 3 days. That's my prediction. And so it's a very short moment, but understand that in those 3 days, $150 million will come through the platform, and 75 million in USDT tokens will pay out in the rewards plan in 3 days. 75 million in 3 days. And guys, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this moment. The bigger team, the more work you do between now and the launch, the more momentum you're going to see, the more money, the more income you're going to see when that takes place. We've also made a very big announcement about the bonus pools. And I think this is probably the number one thing that everyone should be focused on. Maybe two things. Number one, get yourself upgraded to the highest tier you can so that you can take advantage as much as possible of the Daisy token presale. Number two, get in these bonus pools. And we're literally taking 30 million Daisy tokens, and we're putting 10 million Daisy tokens in a brand new bonus pool called the Spillover Maker. We're taking 10 million Daisy tokens and putting it into the Pace Setter Gold bonus pool. And we are taking 10 million tokens and putting it into the Pace Setter Leadership bonus pool. And what that means for every member is a huge opportunity. And I'm telling you, we have this reset that goes all the way to June 11th for Pace Setter Gold. And you could be brand new today and reach it by that date. Do whatever it takes to get to Pace Setter Gold, because you want to be in that bonus pool. And if you really want to change your life forever, do whatever it takes to get into the Pace Setter Leadership bonus pool. I want you to understand the power of that leadership bonus pool. Right now, there are 35 Pace Setter leaders. And if we put the tokens into the pool today, that means that every leader would have around 280,000 Daisy tokens. At $5 a token, you're looking at $1.2, $1.3 million just in that single bonus alone for Pace Setter leaders. For Pace Setter Gold members, you're looking right now at around 100. And again, these aren't guarantees, but I'm telling you, we're thinking small. The $5 launch price for the Daisy token is actually very low compared to where we're going to take it. But we're talking about $150,000 in value to the Daisy Pace Setter Gold members just at the $5 token price. And that's just from qualifying as a Pace Setter Gold. So guys, the work that we do together between now and June 11th, when we close the bonus pool for those new members, and July 1st, when we launch the presale, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So we've never seen a bigger moment than right now. So Avi, I'm excited for the Q&A. I've got about 40 minutes here. I need to get over. I have another Zoom, so I need to open that Zoom up a little early. So I've got about 40 minutes here to spend with you guys.
Super. I hope we're not going too fast for the translators. Well, we're going to try and pace it up so we make the most out of it as well.
Sorry about that.
So thank you to the translators. You talk about the Daisy token and the price. I think there's been quite a lot of people asking this question. I just saw it on the chat as well. So we'll probably start right there. I think a lot of people wanted to know a little bit more information about the tokenomics, making sure that there's no one who's controlling too much of the tokens that can just dump the coins, whether any part of that is escrowed. And the second part to that question, which I think is very important, a lot of people are not realizing and understanding how we have come to the projection of $5 per coin. And for example, the person on the chat said, when a lot of the coins mostly launch in the pennies, someone else texts me today, say, hey, Cardano is at less than $2. How is it that we're going to be so powerful and we have a projected price of $5 per token? So if you could clarify on the tokenomics and the projected price, I think that would bring a lot of clarity for the community.
Yep, absolutely. I want to pull something up here real quick. I just want to, so that I can answer that that question accurately. I'm gonna use that example of Cardano, of ADA. So the find the total supply. Okay, it's just showing the circulating supply. I'll give you an example. The circulating supply of ADA, for example, right now is 31, almost 32 billion tokens. 32 billion ADA tokens that are circulating in the market right now. 32 billion. So anytime you have a large supply, okay, thank you, Avi, 45 billion total supply. So when, a $45 billion total supply, what does that mean? That means that if Cardano had a 1 billion total supply, the price would be 45 times more than what it is today. The token would actually be at $90 instead of $2, right? Based upon their current economics. So the reason that certain tokens are lower or higher, whatever, oftentimes has to do with the total supply. Because our platform is a DeFi launchpad, and the utility of the Daisy token is inside of that launchpad, having a lower supply is a big opportunity for us. The lower the supply, the easier and the better it is for the price. So when you have lower supply and higher demand, it impacts the price. The reason we know the starting price is because we're doing a public pre-sale round. So we're doing the Daisy round only for Daisy members. And that's where you have now 4 price points: 10 cents a token, 25 cents a token, 50 cents a token, and $1 a token. Round 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll talk more about that today. When we do the public round for non-Daisy members, that pre-sale round is going to go from $1 to $5. So the final round of the public pre-sale, the Daisy token will pre-sell for $5 a token. And we already have institutional investors lined up to participate and support that public sale. So the pre-sale to the public will actually end at $5 a token. That's where we will get our valuation for CoinMarketCap. And then when we list on the exchanges, that's why we will be able to start at $5 a token, because that will actually be the public price in the last round of the pre-sale. So when you combine limited supply with high demand, it makes a big impact. Now, there's several other things that we are doing strategically. And what you have to know is that the team behind this development has done this many times. They know what they're doing. They're connected to the biggest CEOs, the biggest exchanges, all of the things, the connections that you want. But because it's a DeFi launchpad, every DeFi project that launches from the Daisy launchpad will be using the Daisy token inside of their pre-sales. So for all of these new projects, the Daisy token will actually be the utility token for all of the DeFi projects. And all of the DeFi projects will be promoting the Daisy Launchpad platform to their public communities. And so this is going to create a big move publicly. Second thing is that we're making the announcement about the Daisy Launchpad at the Global Digital Summit. This is one of the largest blockchain events in the world. This year's event focuses on DeFi. Daisy is the sponsor of this event. I will be a guest speaker at that event, and we will be announcing the Daisy Launchpad to the public at this event. So we have a lot of support from the blockchain community around this project. And the reason is because we bring a community to the table. Because the Daisy community is 100,000 members, we have a lot of power when it comes to these relationships, because this is what all of these technology projects are looking for. They're looking for strong communities that can get behind those projects. And so we've been able to leverage that in a tremendous way. So I hope that answers that question of the $5 as the starting point. That's just a pre-sale marketing plan that we're implementing to launch at that price point. As far as controlling the pump and dump, 100% you're correct. Most people's mindset is dump. Most people's mindset is, hey, when we go, the day we go live on the exchange, let's sell all our tokens and make all this money. We could never offer the token at such a discount if that's what was going to happen, right? It would completely deflate the value of the token if we launched a circulating supply on day one that caused the dump, right, in the market. So every pre-sale member, the company itself, the public sale, the marketing partnerships that we have, everyone who's holding Daisy token prior to the public sale will be vested. And what that means is that a portion of your tokens will be staked and they will be locked. When we launch, a certain portion will be unlocked and available. And then every month, there will be a scheduled release in the token smart contract where a certain amount of tokens will become available every month to each member. So when you pre-buy the tokens, you won't be able to go and sell all those tokens on day one because they're going to be they're going to be staked and they're going to be locked up in escrow, to use your words. They're going to be vested, and then every month a certain percentage will be unlocked and available. So this allows us to control that pump and dump from happening. Additionally, Avi, we are buying back. So a portion of all the revenue that comes in both from pre-sale and that comes in from the DeFi projects that are launching on the platform will be used to buy back the token on the open market. So this is very big for the community to know that we believe so much in this token that we are actually willing to buy the token on the exchanges at $5, $6, $7. We're going to be buying the token from the open market, and then we'll be holding those tokens in the liquidity wallet in the reserve. And so our tokenomics, we invest back into the project from the proceeds that are coming in, which also helps to continue to drive the price of the token up in the open market. Oh, you're muted there.
Brilliant. Thank you for that explanation. And I'm also assuming as we go along, I'm sure the tokenomics haven't probably been finalized to the T yet, but once that is done, it will be public information as it normally is, and everyone will know what portion is going towards who or where, etc., which pool, which, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's we're using a very, very conservative. I mean, you guys know the heart of Daisy. The heart of Daisy is always reward the community. The heart of Daisy, we're not greedy people. And you can see that even in our comp plan model, everything we have, even the founders of Daisy, we take compared to what other founders take, we take a very small, minimal amount of profits, and it's generated from our own build. So we are building teams just like you are, contributing to the spillover, contributing to the community, and that has to be earned. It'll be the same thing in the tokenomics, the developers of the token, the founders of Daisy, et cetera. Very minimal amounts will be held, and those will be in escrow. So the project has to succeed in order for us to benefit from that. It's a project that is designed to outpace all of the existing platforms today. So we're using better tokenomics than any other launch pad that is out there, where we favor the community, we favor the token holders, we favor those that are staking in the project, and everything is designed for the project to win long term. And so this Thursday, and we'll be announcing this, we don't have the time set yet, but the two masterminds behind the launchpad, the developers that brought us this idea of the DeFi launchpad, as well as our DeFi attorney. So this attorney, she's the attorney for many of the top DeFi projects in the world. She's genius, absolutely brilliant. We will be doing a live webinar for the community where you will be able to talk to and hear from the developers and the programmers and the attorney behind this DeFi project. And I think that will be a great place to get a lot of the detailed questions answered. Of course, we will be releasing the white paper, which will have all the tokenomics in it. We'll be releasing the website, which will have all that information on it over the next couple of weeks. And so, of course, all of those details will be available to the community prior to the pre-sale.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I think one of the very juicy aspect of the tokens is also the fact that whenever and every time someone's going to purchase their tokens, which they can only do up to the tier that they've already contributed, but there's also a generation of income there because we still pay out on our existing compensation plan, which is fantastic.
Yes.
But it also begs the question for some people, because they can't understand how is it possible that someone is getting 100% of the coins? Because if someone purchased, let's say hypothetically, on the round one at 10 cents, they purchase tier one, $100. They will get the full 1,000 coins, not half. But yet, the compensation plan still pays out. But some people then seem to think, well, how is that possible that they get the full token and yet we're also paying out on the compensation plan? They love it, but they're just scared as well. So it would be great for you to clarify.
It's very simple. In any traditional project raise, token sale like this, 100% of the proceeds go to the project owners. 100% of the proceeds go to, and what happens is that small group of elite whatever walk away, and a large portion also goes to marketing. So a large portion of proceeds traditionally goes to marketing the project, right? And so they will pay they have a board of directors typically, right? And so there'll be all these board members, advisors that all get percentage of that revenue. They pay for advertising, they pay for marketing, et cetera. And so what happens is, in a traditional token sale, 50% of that revenue that comes in is just walk away money for the founders. That's profits for the founders, right? So myself, the Daisy founders, as well as the developers of the project, we said, look, we're not here to take money and walk away and have this greedy model. We want the project to win, and we're willing to win long-term. So let's give 50% of that back to the community from the beginning instead of taking it internally. And that's exactly what happens. In most token projects, you are financing the Lamborghinis and the islands of those founders. And that's the reality. That's the truth of most successful token sales. What we decided to do is give 50% of that back to the community, and the other 50% then will be used for development and marketing, et cetera. And we just made sure that the numbers worked. Additionally, the development team that we're working with is developing the project at raw cost, because their win is also on the back end. Their win is 2 years from now, when the token is $100. And as the founding developers of the project, they're holding their share of the tokens. And in 2 years, when the project is a household name and it's worth much more than it is today, they win on the back end. So this also protects the community, because there's no win for the founders and the development team until the project succeeds. And it just helps guarantee that we're all in this until the end.
Fantastic. And I think it's very important for people to understand this. You could very easily, between you and the partners, have done it the traditional way, where, hey, you're paying $100, you get your 1,000 tokens, and there's no commission paid, there's no part of the compensation plan, because you're physically giving everyone the token for the full value. But what you guys have chosen to do, and it shows again the kind of environment we have, is you've chosen to take 50% upfront of that and actually pay it out back out into the community. And then from the rest, just to make sure people understand, the rest does not go in your pockets, because you still got to do a lot of marketing, the development team, and much, much more that is involved within that.
Yes. Yeah. What we're doing on the public side is going to be very, very important, because ultimately the goal of the Daisy platform is not to exist within a network marketing community. The goal, the entire goal of the Daisy platform is to not be a network marketing project in any way, but to be a full-blown DeFi project. And the only role of the community in right now, the only connection is we get to participate first. And of course, as a community, we're going to support the project, right? If really good DeFi projects come to the platform, and as a community, we go, wow, this is big, this is genius, then we can talk about it. We can promote it. We can share it. We can support the projects that are coming into the Daisy platform, that are launching their DeFi projects. We can support that as a community. But the whole vision of the Daisy platform is that it stands on its own without any network marketing model attached to it. We're just giving the community the first opportunity to reward the community to participate, and we're leveraging the value of our community towards the success of the platform by saying, hey, we've got 100,000 members that believe in DeFi, that believe in blockchain technology, and you have us as an audience. And this is one of the big value propositions that we're offering these companies.
Awesome, awesome. A quick message to the co-host. If you guys can pick a few of the main leaders and add them as panelists, just because we've maxed out. But if we add a few on panelists, because he only counts the participants to max out, we can hopefully get a few more people on board. Now that's absolutely incredible, Jeremy, from the token perspective. And I love.
And I see you're also broadcasting on Facebook too. So if some of the people watching on Zoom right now would be willing to leave the Zoom and switch over to Facebook Live, that would also free up some more seats as well.
Absolutely, appreciate that. And as I was saying, Jeremy, you're looking to on Thursday announce the attorneys, the project developers of the DeFi project, which is simply incredible. And I think it's important for people to understand, because I see a lot of the messages having the same question. So I thought it wasn't part of the plan, but we will take this, I think, is yes. The fact that that's the transparency of Daisy. And sometimes people look at it and say, hey, but we haven't had the audit report yet. And we know because you've shared it with us kindly, but I think it's good for them to hear it from the horse's mouth. So if you could just touch base on 3 things for us that a lot of people have been asking, is what is the expectation and why we haven't had the audit report yet publicly, but also when can they expect for us to set the minimum withdrawals at $20, as well as to have the full reporting on the rewards that people have actually earned through the contributions?
Yeah, 3 very important questions. So let's talk about the audit first. So the audit has been completed now for I don't know, 10 days. It's completely done. Here is the issue that we have right now. And we're talking to the attorneys and we're deciding how do we move forward. So by law, and this is across the board. The audit was done by one of the top 4 auditing firms, accounting firms in the world, right? I mean, household name, biggest of the biggest, incredible. By law, that auditing report with the stamps cannot be disclosed to the public. It can be disclosed to members, right? So if you're a member of the Daisy Fund, you can see that report. Here's the problem. Here's what they made real clear. They said if one person were to post a copy of that report on Facebook, for example, or share it with a non-member, they will have no choice but to file a massive lawsuit against us. They have no choice but to do it. And it would be awful for our community, right? If you can imagine what that would look like. Here's the #1 auditing firm in the world, and they would be forced to file a lawsuit against Daisy if that official audit ever were exposed to the public, because it is an internal financial audit that's connected to trading. There are very strict laws about using that for enticement. And so we have to make a big decision right now of how do we manage that. And so what we're requesting from them right now is say, okay, if we can't publish the actual page by page by page audit with the stamps, et cetera, can we publish a letter on the letterhead of the auditing company? And can our attorneys publish a letter on behalf of the audit disclosing certain information that the community needs to see? We have to be very careful to protect the DAISY model. And here's our concern. We have 100,000 marketers, right? And all it would take was one person from the 100,000. And even if they signed an NDA, we asked them this. They said, what if we had everyone sign an NDA? What if we, had them KYC, et cetera? At the end of the day, if one member were to put that out on Facebook or social media or send it to a prospect, it could jeopardize the entire project. Additionally, if there are any enemies of DAISY, anyone that wants to take us down, this could be their window. This could be an opportunity for them to put us in breaking the law and putting us in a bad situation. So we have to be very protective of that. And so the audit is done with flying colors. It's stamped, it's signed off on, it's done. Now we have to determine how do we make that available in the right way, in the safe way, to the public, to the community. So we're in talks right now with both attorneys, both sets of attorneys, our attorneys and their attorneys, to come up with a good scenario that will allow us to do that. So the good news is the audit's completely done and ready and passed with flying colors. The bad news is, or the adjustment is, we have to figure out now the right way and the safe way to make that available to the community without jeopardizing the DAISY community. So that's the very straightforward answer on, hopefully I didn't say too much, but that's the truth. That's the straightforward answer on the situation there. The second thing is on the reports in the back office. We believe it's going to be maybe today or tomorrow. So with the exception of the bonus pools, the pay setter pool and the leadership pool, it's a much more difficult process to calculate the total earnings of each member based on when they join the pool and how many shares they have. Very difficult. It's not just a straightforward report, right? And so what we told the development team yesterday is, if we can have the matrix report, if we can have the check matching report, if we can have the personal referral report, and we can have that done immediately. If it takes another week for the pay setter reports, then we can live with that. But let's not let those reports keep us from the other reports. The other reports are pretty straightforward. And they said, yeah, if we just condense it to those reports, we can have that done very quickly. So we're hoping that today or tomorrow, in the next couple of days, that the rewards report will be live, with the exception of the total earnings in the pay setter bonus pool.
Super. And we also, about the $20 minimum withdrawal, please, Jeremy.
Yes. So the next 3 weeks, so once we get done with the reports and certain other issues that they're fixing and correcting, the development team is going to take the next 3 weeks and they're going to focus 100% on the architecture of the withdrawal system so that it's ready to scale. So one of the concerns right now that our QA department and developers have is that the withdrawal system is working. It's working perfectly. But if we put 20,000 withdrawals into the system right now in one day, it may not be ready for that. It may collapse that. And so they have to rebuild the architecture of the back end. We won't have to shut any withdrawals down or stop anything that we're doing. They're going to do this on the back end. No one will know what's happening. And then they will update the system. Right now, the platform just isn't ready to be overloaded with that many users. When we open up that $20 withdrawal, there's probably going to be tens of thousands of people that test it. And we want to make sure that it doesn't crash the system. So so our expectation is, at the very latest, by the time we launch the token sale on July 1st, the $20 withdrawals will be available as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much. The next question is probably a little bit more about the launch pad. It's and I think you touched base on it a little bit earlier, and a lot of people was asking, so for each project, for each token, each project that comes and launches via the Daisy Launchpad. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the benefits to them? Would they receive like airdrops, a certain number of tokens from each of those projects, or do they have to do something to receive some of those tokens? It'd be good for people to know.
Absolutely. So yes, anyone who is staking Daisy tokens will receive rewards from each of the new DeFi projects that are launching, right? And those rewards will be airdrops of their token, right? And so you will be earning free tokens in every DeFi project that launches on the Daisy Launchpad. There's some other things that we're going to be putting in there, but we're still under review right now with our attorneys to make sure what we can and can't do. So I can't announce anything beyond that right now. But the one thing you can count on for sure is that just like the traditional farming and DeFi model, if you stake tokens, you will have those benefits. Every member will also have the opportunity to purchase if they choose. Now, this will not be inside of the Daisy comp plan, right? So this will not connect to any comp plan. But as a person who stakes the Daisy token, you will have the first opportunity for each project to purchase tokens in the very first round of that project, of the biggest discounts available. So that's another benefit, but you will also receive free tokens in those projects as well. One of the unique elements of this is that in most Launchpad platforms, in order to have these benefits, you typically have to stake $100,000 worth of the token. It's a very large amount. And so typically in the Launchpad world, only the whales get these benefits, get these real benefits. And one of our commitments is that every person gets equal benefits. So whether you're a whale who's staking $100,000 worth of token, or whether you're the everyday person who might be staking $100 worth of the token, you have access to the same benefits, and we want to reward the whole community. So yes, that's the answer to that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Jeremy. I think the next thing we would love to touch base on is the spillover creator, which I think is something incredible that you've done, giving everyone, even whether they're qualified or not for any of the existing pools, of being able to get pretty much free tokens airdrop to them. So, but the question here was, to be qualified for the pool, you need to have a minimum of 4 personal direct from the date it was announced up to 11th of June.
Yes.
Total contributions combined is $1,000 or more. But you can get multiple shares in that pool.
That's correct.
Right? But here was the question. So does it reset after each 4, or is it looked at the total at the end? Because here was the question.
The total at the end.
So if they done their first 4 and the contribution, let's say for the first 4 combined was $2,000 already, and they got 4 more people on $100 only, they have 2 shares now.
100%.
All right. Fantastic. And it's important to know that the more shares you get in that pool can also amount to a huge amount of tokens that you get given for free.
Absolutely. And a couple other points I think that are important to clarify. You had actually asked this question on the leadership call. I believe you're the one that asked this, and the answer that I gave them has changed. It was not the right answer. So the Daisy token packs will not in any way, shape, or form be a part of the current Daisy model qualifications. So for example, in the Daisy model, you have to have 128,000 in contributions and 24 personal referrals in order to become a Pacesetter Gold. So the Daisy token packs will not be a part of that 128,000. It's also important to know that no one will be able to join Daisy with a token pack purchase. The only way to get the token packs is to join Daisy through the current tiers, and then you will have the opportunity to purchase the token pack. It's also important to note that whatever tier you're in now, you're going to get paid from that level of token packs, whether you buy the token pack or not. So for example, if you're a tier 5 member and for some reason you don't buy tier 5 token packs, you still earn on the tier 5 matrix from the tier 5 token packs. And so that was a question that's been asked a lot as well. You don't have to buy the token pack in order to earn from the token packs in your matrix. You do have to be at that tier, however, in the current Daisy model.
Fabulous. Since we're on the topic of the tokens, here's a tricky one for you. I think it's a tricky one because I got asked this question and I wasn't quite sure what to say. Obviously, the perfect answer is to do both, right? If someone, let's take a hypothetical example, was on a tier 5, so their total contributions is $3,100 so far, and they had a maximum of another 3,200 that was feasible for them to actually let go of at that moment.
Yeah.
Do they, if it was you, let's put it this way, if it was you, would you go and just upgrade to the next tier, or would you use that to purchase the token? If that's all you had, you couldn't do both.
I would use it to purchase the token. It would be my personal decision. Just because it's such a unique moment that it's going to be, you won't find a lot of opportunities in life to get this type of this type of moment, this type of buying low, this low in the market. It's unheard of, actually, what we're doing. So yeah, without any shadow of a doubt, I would say use that money to do the token packs, because it's only a 3-day opportunity, right? Once it's sold out, it's sold out. You can always upgrade tiers in the future, right? But this is a 3-day opportunity to take advantage of, and you want to take full advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. And Jeremy, when you say 3 days, so all the 3 or 4 rounds of pre-sale will happen in the space of just 3 days?
I think it will. I mean, we won't limit it to that. We're gonna let it move at the speed that it moves, right? We will have some potential date cutoffs, but I don't think we're gonna come close to those. My personal opinion is we're gonna sell out of round 1 and round 2 in the first 24 hours. And we're going to sell out of round 3 and round 4 in the second 48 hours. My personal opinion is in 72 hours, it'll be gone. Now, I could be wrong. I could be overestimating possibly, but I know the value of what we're bringing to the community. And unless somebody just doesn't know about it, or whatever the scenario might be, every single member of Daisy should be maxing out what they can on these tokens. It would be a big mistake not to do that. And there's so much buzz right now happening that, I just believe that that's going to happen. I believe that we're going to sell out very quickly.
Okay, wonderful. That was quite easy for you. I was stuck. I couldn't decide which one should be done at that point. But it's a great explanation that you gave, because the token is not only available for that period, whereas you could go and upgrade anytime in the future and go to the next contribution level. Brilliant.
I've got 5 minutes left with you, Avi, just so you know.
Yeah, super, no problem at all. So the next question.
Let me address this real quick too. So here's how the process is going to work. There will be a separate website. You'll go to your Tron link, same wallet that you use right now. You'll log into the website. It'll recognize your wallet. Once you log into the website, it'll know what tier you're at already. It'll let you know what token packs are available for you to purchase. And you'll use the exact same Tron wallet that you're using right now to buy the tokens. Now, the actual Daisy token, after the pre-sale, when it converts and puts tokens into people's wallets and all of that is done, it will be a multi-chain platform. So you can take that token to any platform, to most major platforms. You can take it to Ethereum, you can take it to Binance. So the Daisy token will be an interchangeable token, cross-platform, and with the same wallet address, you'll be able to use it on all of the major blockchains. Tron, we're looking at Cardano right now as a possibility. Several options of some upcoming blockchains, Binance, Ethereum, etc.
Wow.
So you'll purchase it through your Tron wallet, just like you do with the Daisy tiers. It'll be the exact same process. When the tokens are distributed to your wallet, you'll be able to transfer them and convert them into multiple platforms.
Brilliant. So what we'll do is I'm going to combine two questions, and then I'll have one last one for you. The two questions I'm going to combine is a couple of people I've seen on the Q&A, I'm taking it from there, have asked, are we 100% confirmed that the round one will be available at 10 cents? And also, are we guaranteed that there will be enough, even if everyone was to purchase up to the full tier that they have in Daisy within round one? Is that enough token that's been allocated for that, or it's not?
Yes, it is. We have certain, we're not going to announce the parameters and what we've set up, but we've set it up in a place that it'll be fair to every member in the Daisy community, every member. So a tier 1 member will have the same allocation opportunity as a tier 10 member, and it'll be fair to the entire community. So we're not going to announce how that's going to work in the smart contract because we don't want anyone to take advantage of the system or et cetera, but we can assure you that it's going to be fair for everybody. Also a clarification from the original announcement. Originally, we were going to do 3 rounds with 10% in each round. We were going to do 10 cents, 25 cents, and $1. What we decided to do after looking at the tokenomics, because the numbers still work to protect the community, is we're going to do 4 rounds, 7.5% at round 1, so 75 million, 75 million at round 2, 75 million at round 3, 75 million tokens at round 4. That's 7.5% times 4 rounds. And the prices, again, will be 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and $1.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I suppose as a last, not quite question, but I think it would be great for everyone to really understand the vision from your perspective, the vision of Daisy over the next 5 years. Where do you want to see it? Where do you want to take it? What do we want to become? So what is the future really for Daisy in your perspective?
Absolutely. If you just drew a straight line from the direction we're going now, and you drew a straight line, you're going to get there. You're going to see it, right? So what is Daisy? It's a smart contract model that allows people from around the world to contribute to financial technology projects where they can receive profits, equity, and income as a result of that. Nothing changes. The only difference between who we are today and who we are a year from now is we're bigger, we're better, we're sexier, we're involved with more projects, and we scaled, right? We know that right now we're in the early phases. We know that we're going to see tremendous upgrades to the platform, the back office, the apps, all of that stuff as we continue to put money into those developments. But ultimately, it's exactly where we are right now. This is why I'm so excited about the Launchpad, because it's a completely decentralized platform that is 100% in alignment with the Daisy mission from day one. It's exactly what we do as a community from day one. And it allows us to do it in a completely decentralized manner. And so we're getting approached right now, Avi. My mind is blown by some of the technologies that are actually being developed around the world right now that have come to us and said, hey, we want to partner with Daisy. We want your community to take on our project. And I'm just telling you, just like Amazon started as a bookstore, but it reached the world, right? With every different product you can imagine. It started as a bookstore, but its mission was simple: offer a direct connection to the retail consumer on an online platform to deliver the products to their front door, right? At a lower price, at a better opportunity. And then it evolved from there. Daisy's exactly the same, right? We've started with phase 1. It's exciting. We're going to go all the way to our goals in phase 1 with Endotech. But as we move forward, we're going to expand into so many other projects and opportunities. Our biggest responsibility is to make sure that every project that we bring to the community is a winning project, right? That's all. We just want to make sure that in every situation, everyone wins with profits, with equity, and with income. And we want to make sure that members who choose not to refer other people for whatever reason are still winning with every offer that Daisy presents to the world. And we protect the community in that way. So yeah, we're just, we're going to go from Amazon, the bookstore, to Amazon, the global empire. That's all.
I love that. I love that example. And in fact, you know what? It's good for people to know that when Amazon launched in July 1994, when it was founded, it actually took them 1 year and 6 days before they had everything in place to actually sell their first book.
Yes.
And when I look at people sometimes being at a pioneering stage, but they're not prepared for it because they can't handle the teething problems, who wouldn't have loved to have shares in Amazon today? But it took them 1 year and 6 days just to be able to be ready to sell one book. And Amazon took 3 years before they introduced their second product, which was CDs. And here we are sitting here at Daisy. I take the official launch from 30th of March, not the beta launch. And we're already talking about our, let's say, the second project within the global project that we have. And I think it's just phenomenal at the growth that we're having, despite the teething problems, which are going to vanish eventually. I think it's actually phenomenal, the opportunity that we have in our hands.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I appreciate your leadership, man, your friendship. I know that your team is going to continue. You guys were number one in everything that's happened up until now. I know that your organization is going to be number one in this token sale. I know a lot of lives are going to be changed in the rewards plan, but also long-term, right? You know, every person who's holding the Daisy token has a really, really special opportunity long-term for your family. And it's a reward. It's a reward to the Daisy members who believed in us so far, who came in and participated in phase one already. And it's a reward that goes back to the community. One thing that will be important to note as well is that when we will announce the cutoff date, and it's probably going to be May 31st. It'll be the day before the pre-launch, but you have to be in Daisy, a registered member by May 31st in order to participate. So when we open the token sale, it's too late to join Daisy and buy tokens. You have to be a registered member in Daisy ahead of time and have upgraded your tiers ahead of time. So right now, the next few weeks, it's very important that every member does their upgrades, and anyone who you have in your network who may have people in their network who are interested in the token, they need to come in and secure their position in Daisy and help their community do that as well. Because there will be a cutoff date, and new members that join during the token sale will not be able to buy the tokens.
Just to clarify on that, Jeremy, did you say May 31st or June?
May 31st. So June. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, June 30th. June 30th, one day before the token launch on July 1st. Yep. Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Well,
I have to run. I've got to get this. I'm doing a Spanish webinar right now, and I've got to get it opened up.
100%. I would just want to say thank you very much for taking the time, for being here, and thank you to everyone for being here. And we really appreciate you, Jeremy, and the time and the commitment. So thank you very much. We'll let you go, and we'll close off the call on your behalf here.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow, this was an incredible session. I know there's a lot more questions coming from all different Zooms. We've got the French people who's been messaging, asking if we've been trying to look at the questions overall and put them together and try and answer as much as possible. In such calls, it's never possible to answer everyone's, because we've got, I reckon, a good way over 1,000 people combined on all the Zooms. We maxed out on this line over 500, so it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm just scrolling through most of the question. If you go back on this call, you will find the answer, because a lot of it, maybe you posted it earlier. I'm not saying you posted the question after, but sometimes when we watch a call the first time, we miss out on some of them. And when we go back and watch it again, we realize, so this call is recorded. I hope in each of the language, we did request everyone to record. We will make these recording available as soon as possible. Here's my take from this call. Why did I want to arrange this call? Look, sometimes people don't understand that as a position of leadership, I feel it's my responsibility to bring Jeremy or everyone to the table and answer questions, because we all have questions. Hey, the project is great, but we want to make sure that we evaluate it based on maximum facts before we make a decision. Because at the end of the day, each and every single one of us is using our own hard-earned money to participate in the project. So I like to do, we done one of like this just before the actual launch of Daisy. And I wanted to make sure, I wish we had a bit more time with Jeremy, but he did tell me that's all the time he had. And I didn't want to delay it because I wanted to try and get those questions answered. I hope at least majority of you have had most of your questions answered. Anything else, look, reach out to your upline, reach out to anyone that you normally work with. They should have I think we've covered the majority, the main points. Any little bits and pieces, we can answer that between us. And if we can't, we will go and get the answers. I'm just scrolling down through at the same time. Here's what I take away from this, right? I'm really pumped because there's some things, and some people ask this question. This is going to be a multi-chain token. Ethereum, Binance, Tron, they're looking at Cardano and other blockchain. That is phenomenal. I see it like this, simple, right? We're talking hypothetical here. I'm not a financial advisor, so disclaimer, I'm not here to give any financial advice, but I'm just using what Jeremy said as a hypothetical example. If someone who purchases their token at 10 cents, and if they have this token launching at $5 with the support of this incredible community that we have, this token could grow a lot because the demand for this token, as long as Jeremy and co bring to the platform as many projects as possible, the demand for this token is going to go higher and higher because every project that launches on the launchpad of Daisy will have to acquire those tokens. That could be life-changing because we're talking 50x to 100x of whatever amount you spend buying the tokens. It doesn't matter if you spend $100 or $100,000. If $100 is what you can afford to use to purchase tokens, well, 50 to 100x, $5,000 to $10,000 on $100 is huge. So that's my take on this. I'm excited. I can't wait to purchase the tokens. I can't wait to see the growth of this project. And I just want to say thank you very much for everyone for being here. Thank you for the co-hosts for helping out. And a massive, massive thank you to all the translators. We often forget how hard their job is and what they do. So thank you very, very much. And we see you on some of our next calls. Have a brilliant day, brilliant afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. And we will post a recording as soon as possible. Thank you very much.